Good morning, YouTube. Welcome
Good
to
morning,
Business Express.
YouTube. Sup, YouTube.
Local and global market opportunities safely at your fingertips.
That's how we stop. Studio. And Lagos, here we are. It is going past 6:30 for a Tuesday morning, and welcome back to the working week. So for Business Express, for the next 15 minutes, we've got something pretty interesting to talk about. And joining us for the episode, as usual, is Rotus. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Sope. Good morning to you all out there. Of course, our brand new host, co-host as well.
Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, everybody. Good to be with you.
All right, so we are already streaming live up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. So make sure you leave your comments up on the live stream to get in with the conversation. You can also send WhatsApp messages into 08209 440 981 and use the hashtag BusinessExpress981 on Twitter and tag Rotus at Rotanquote. Okay, so Rotus, we've already told people bank charges. We're going to be discussing all that and its ramifications. And that video that went up on Twitter.
Yeah, so okay. So a viral video is on Twitter where this is what was, let me just say this right now. This is false. The story that's on Twitter is false. But what is being spread on social media is that a gentleman, a guy put together a music band and went to picket Fidelity Bank, I think in Anambra State or somewhere.
Yes, it was Anambra.
Apparently, account maintenance fees or something that was charged to his account, and they were yet to debit him. So it's a pretty funny video. He's saying, Fidelity, your papa, and this and that and this, and there's a keyboardist and a drummer, and
a live band
outside this. Yeah, right. But that's not what happened. So luckily, Fidelity Bank quickly put out a statement. And it's way more complicated than that. So there's a case in court between, and their name is so long, I gotta read this here. The AUPCTRE, it's the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service and Recreational Services Employees. A union. It's like NUC.
Well, that's not an anagram you can pronounce.
Exactly, yeah. The union is claiming that they are being owed entitlements from the Anambra Urban Water Holding Corporation and the Anambra Waste Management Authority. So there was I think they went to arbitration and they got an arbitral award of 471 million naira, which the judgment was received on January the 11th. And they got it from some courts in Enugu or so like that. So I think the National Industrial Court, NIC or something in Enugu. So what now happened is that a garnish order, and legal people know more about this, a garnish order was now put in place against the accounts of the Anambra Urban Water Holding Corporation and Anambra Waste Management of their accounts that they hold in Fidelity Bank. So in legal terms, a garnish order, I guess, is an enforcement of a previous judgment where money is now either collected from your wages or your bank account or something. They're going to collect the money based on an order from the court. So they go to the bank, right? So what now happened is that that was on January the 11th. On January the 12th, both entities of Anambra State, the Water Holding Corporation, Waste Management Authority, filed an appeal. They also filed a stay of execution, which now delayed the garnish order to collect the 471 million from their accounts in Fidelity Bank. So the union, that is the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service, and I can't tired of saying this, recreational service employees, they were now served with the papers saying that there is a stay of execution and an appeal has been filed. So you cannot get your 471 million naira yet from the bank accounts of these waste management and authority that is being held in Fidelity Bank.
Right.
Here, they got upset, and apparently they've been picketing Fidelity Bank branches across the country. I heard there was a picketing in Ilorin, then this video in in Anambra or wherever. And I think as part of a malicious intent, somebody either they misunderstood what was going on, or I don't know if the union is behind this. Then I said it was account maintenance fees. But here's the thing, and this is what caught my attention. The moment you say account maintenance fees or bank fees, it's like rabies. People start frothing at the mouth and
Rotus,
lose it, right?
that is the thing, right? Because I think it touched a lot of people's hearts. They're like, yes, now it is the time.
Almost every Nigerian has had an experience or two
Exactly.
with the banks.
I have one currently.
They just, I don't know. People hate account maintenance fees. They hate.
Exactly.
But look, I don't want anybody to come after me. But listen, if the three of us go and line up at an ATM to go and collect money or to do whatever it is we want to do, people need to understand that account maintenance, it costs money. First of all, the ATM machine is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you walk a lot, well, sometimes it's not dispensing. We know we have issues with cash temporarily available, unavailable, blah, blah, blah. But in the real sense, 24/7, Monday through Sunday, there's a gen that is powering, or maybe solar power or whatever. Something is powering that ATM. It has to stay on. You can ask for a receipt for your bank balance or whatever it is you want. That paper, that piece of paper that people take out, they crumple it and throw it into the trash. That paper costs money. The ink that is used to write down your account balance on the paper, the ink cartridges on all those ATMs, it costs money. When you break down the unit cost of maintaining those machines, and they have to keep your balance up to date, Shokwe's balance, my balance, everybody's balance, it costs money. I've said, but nobody wants to hear.
So Rotus, what I'm gonna say is I started off my banking life and my banking journey in a country that does not charges.
Fees, right.
Yes, no fees, none whatsoever. And yet the banks there are still making money hand over fist.
True. In fact, I sent a spreadsheet showing a nairametrics put together. I think banks made 88 billion or so. This is the banks on the stock exchange. They made about 88 billion in 9 months, 2021.
Rotus, and they can't give us a little ink?
But see, listen, see, look. Doing business for a bank, look, we talked about diesel costs, right? The banks have started sending out, in fact, the latest one is Keystone Bank. First was GT Bank, then I think it was First Bank, now it's Keystone Bank. All of them will soon send out notices saying that they've reduced their banking hours because diesel costs are climbing. Doing business here, Shokwe, is not like doing business in another country. It is so expensive. The branches, the diesel, electricity, I mean, insecurity. So it's just tough. You know, again,
some would say that because we're running a pretty archaic model of banking in which there's no reliance on automation of a lot of things. I'm just saying.
True,
but
true.
The bank charges.
By the way, can I just say sorry about this, Pepple? Yeah. The same bank that the only bank in this country that I have a current account with does not charge me. I have no charges on that account, and I can already tell the difference between that bank and another bank because every time I go into that bank for anything, they're like, "Have you tried doing this online?" There's a big difference.
Yeah, very true. Pepple, go ahead.
Now, I know that with some banks in Nigeria, if you're using a current account, the charges are more. But you see that these guys keep charging you for card maintenance for different reasons. They just keep, and most times it runs between $1,000. Yes, depending on the kind of accounts that you operate. Also, if you look through your accounts, your account balance, you would see that there were some hidden charges taken that were not accounted for if you scrutinize the balance. So why do they keep doing this, Rotus?
Well, I used to be able to use my bank card like no man's business. Now I have to hold on to it.
Right. Again, look, I don't work with banks. I'm not trying to. When you open your accounts, they list all the fees that you would be. And truth be told, some of them are very tiny, right? Look at it and see what's there. But look, all I can say is this. While it's probably not a justification, doing business in Nigeria is expensive. I mean, there are structural issues in this country. If we have power, 24/7 power, I can guarantee you that some of these fees we'll be facing half the fees we're facing now. It's structural issues. It's tough. As Sope has alluded to, there are probably more. And a lot of these banks, they've been saying you should go electronic. It will probably, but think about this. If all banks go electronic, there will be job losses because if you hit the branches it's just tough all around. It's Nigeria, and that's just what it is. But just to clear this, in fact, I think Fidelity Bank says they're going to issue a restraining order against the union. Because apparently in Ilorin, bank customers couldn't walk into the branch to do their business because they were playing music and ticketing and so on and so forth. So just to clear this up, we have to be careful with social media because everyone now go on Twitter and think that Fidelity is owing somebody money, and that's why he went to go and get a music band to go and block the branch. So
before we see someone somewhere else do the same thing, maybe in Abuja or in Nasara, someone might do the same thing. Oh, they withdrew money from my account. I'm taking a live band over there. By the way, on
have
WhatsApp,
money to spend for that live band. We've got messages coming in, and Joel,
quite a lot of messages.
Joel, I am referring to that particular bank. Yes. We don't charge at all, says Joel. You don't, guys. You really don't. I like it. And let's see, we've got more.
Yeah, quite a number of messages here. This is from Zikolo, says, good morning, Rotus. Are you saying these banks will be running at loss if they don't charge these fees? Are these charges also charged in other countries? I'm trying to understand how you are justifying this.
It starts.
But true. Look, and it's tough to justify, but all I'm saying is that that's the only thing I'm hanging my hat on. It costs money to run it. If there wasn't an account maintenance fee, you can argue there probably wouldn't be losses, but there has to be some kind of fee for maintaining. It is information asymmetry, as they call it. It is try and think about what amount of time it takes you to keep a record of whatever it is you keep a record. Labor, effort, costs. That's the only defense I have. I could be wrong.
Okay.
All right, this says, good morning, Rotus, Sope, and Pepple. I know Sope knows the automation of the banks means increase in unemployment.
All I know is that as Rotus was talking about unemployment, I still remember your argument about deregulation of petrol and diesel and how, yes, it's going to hurt in the short term, but long term, It'll be beneficial. That's my argument too when it comes to automation. This one in from Yeka Bolu, who says, let me shock you. The bulk of ATMs don't have paper and ink anymore. So if you ask for a printout, you get the message on the screen that it can't print right now. And he goes on to talk about an ATM on CND Road as of yesterday that doesn't have paper and ink. In fact, the security told me not to press yes for printouts or else you will not get cash. And
And this one is from Benga Komu. He says, we get triggered by anything to do with banks these days. I am no fan of theirs, even the one with animal and a large memory. Okay. Some people haven't collected their ATM cards yet are being charged card maintenance fees. Why? Oh, yeah. Look, you know how it's just, there's too many. Go ahead.
Kelly says they can afford the diesel for working hours. That's all his messages. Whilst Frank says, Rotus, your explanation this morning is not attainable. The banks also make money from our deposits. They use it to create risk assets. Can you imagine being charged card maintenance that for a card I've never used before? Ridiculous. That's theft, says Frank. All right. And,
I don't know about theft, but that argument, I accept that argument.
Okay, see, Rotus, this really is, we see how the video went viral because the messages are just pouring in.
Just a lot of messages.
But, time has run out.
Let's get this last one in. This says, good morning, Rotus, Sope, and Pepple. ATM costs are covered under the ROU fees. 65 Naira card users get charged for.
Yep. After 3 or so attempts or 3 usages of a bank network. Look, it's a tough position I took today. It's never easy defending banks, but it is what it is.
Yes. I don't envy you, Rotus.
I couldn't help you. Not today. All right. So, people, to make sure you get the replay of this conversation, all you need to do is go over to youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. And yes, Rotus, thank you. Make sure you find him. Tell him why you are against or for these bank charges on Twitter. He is at Rotanquote. All right, Rotus.